We're back. We got more downtime to do. If today is mostly downtime, I'm not going to complain about that. Like, we're doing such a good job of it. It's really nice.
And also, we are reckoning with, updating to, the new...
Yeah, true. Exactly.
version of the game and, a bunch of other stuff.
And catching up after, 8 weeks off.
Yeah, exactly. I think...
Yeah.
Are you the only person who hasn't done a first downtime action yet?
Yes. Emily's the one who hasn't done one yet.
Yep.
So I feel like I had some projects that I was working on, but I think I wanted to check the clocks on the map thing, but I don't know if that involves needing to see a different be on a different page, because the only
This isn't Stone Top M. You can't choose what page
exactly. Yes.
Sorry, what clock are you trying to do?
So, can I see the map?
Oh, sorry, I didn't take you back to it.
No, that's okay. I think there's some clocks on there that I think there are clocks on there that were relevant to what I was doing.
They're either on there or on your character sheet.
Yeah, they're not on my character sheet at the moment.
On the character sheet as well.
There was a thing. Training stage. I was working on the training stage.
Yeah.
I think I actually want to spend some time on that, because I'm pretty sure that at this point, what Cert wants to do is something practical.
Yeah.
Because I got fairly close to my Eclipse 2, and mine is all about don't have feelings, do a thing, do a practical thing. It doesn't matter if it's achievable, just get shit done. So I think that is what he's feeling. So I want to go and spend some time building that, and yeah, just focusing on it. Okay, she's checking. I think she is checking that. Was it a trick? Okay, so our parrot very regularly makes a noise that is the noise that he makes when he's being injured when he's playing. So every now and again we just have to be like, okay, is he actually dying? No, he's not actually dying. He's not. He's just
yelling into a toy.
Yelling.
Did y'all never teach him when he was young the story of the parrot who cried wolf?
Look, we've tried our best to teach him a bunch of shit.
Yeah. Anyway.
Fair. Look, he can do the cool dance on the spoon. That's a pretty impressive.
Exactly. So he's got that.
You okay there, Andrew?
He's a good bird, Andrew.
Yeah.
Even when he screams a lot.
You missed out on BMO stream yesterday.
I got to observe some BMO.
Oh, you got to see some of BMO stream. Oh, yeah, no, you were there.
Bimo likes to bite your chin.
You're doing the training stage, Emily.
Yes. So what do I need to roll here?
What does it look like?
Depends on how you're doing it.
How are you doing it? Yeah.
With your heart.
Maybe. I mean, I think there is he specifically goes there to work on it at 3 in the morning or something. I don't know that I have. Do I have the thing about when do they sleep? I don't know if I have it or if it's
Defy to me.
Okay. Yeah.
Right? You are going in. You're in
You're breaking the rules.
You're breaking the rules. Probably. You're doing it at night against your own exhaustion, against your own feelings.
Yep.
Against having been taught about manifest destiny and put in your place.
Oh God, Luke, you hurt me. Yeah, all that shit.
Yep, absolutely.
I wasn't the one who put manifest destiny in the story, Ash. That was you. You made that decision.
Yeah, I know, but ow.
Oh,
now you gotta live with it.
How much XP do I need to get another thingamajiggy?
Crew advancement or advancement in track?
So if you want to advance one of your attributes, it's 6, and then for an ability, I believe is 8.
Yep.
Yeah, it's 8.
Because apparently I haven't been spending things, so I could do both of those. Because I would actually kind of love to get the when does she sleep? During downtime, you get 2 ticks to distribute among any long-term project clocks whenever you complete a project mark experience. So I think that would be cool. And I'd still want to spend this action on it, but I
then you finish it.
Extra,
or something.
So I think I might spend some XP because I have 15 currently.
Jesus.
So I should probably do that. So I think I will take that one. Where do I put that? Where do I put it? Core abilities.
So you could, under core abilities, you could add
Yeah.
one.
And then sorry, you said I can spend. So that
You can
costs
spend
8.
6 in an attribute to increase one of its actions.
Cool. Okay. And so that's the individual ones. That's not like Moe or Tsundere or Kudere.
No.
Yeah, you would increase your confess, forgive, perceive by or perceive by one.
Gotcha.
Or whatever.
Cool.
And remember, if you take a new one, your resistance goes up.
Right. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Good point.
Also, do you have any in Defy?
No. Let's do that.
I was gonna say.
Let's do that. Sweet.
Might be
Love
helpful.
it. Yeah. And it's narratively good. Like, yeah, I feel like that's really cool. So that's 8 and 6. So 14. So I've got 1 in there. Okay, cool. Perfect. Much better. Okay. Yeah, Defy. That sounds good. Let's do that.
You can do it.
So the thingamajiggy and the effect don't matter, do they?
No, not for this.
4. Terrible.
Yeah, no, that's
Two
2
ticks.
ticks on the training stage, which brings us up to 6 out of 8.
Cool.
And then, because you get
yeah,
the 2
can
ones
I-
from when does she sleep? You just
Can I
finish
do
it.
that?
Yep. Do you want to tick it up 2 more?
Yeah.
I think that completes the training stage, doesn't it?
Yay!
Yeah, it should be an 8 segment.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Cool.
All right. That's real good. So. Ooh. Okay. So let me just, because. Yeah, that's making me think about other actions. But do you want to like look back around and do other people's like?
Yeah, let's do another
Other
one
stuff?
from someone else. Who wants to do one?
Also, to be clear, the training facility means that we can spend an action to gain 2 XP in the Tsundere attribute.
Yeah.
Cool.
So downtime can be used to bump up your
Yep.
Tsundere stat.
Cool.
So, who wants to do one? Who's got an idea?
I would love to hear about how I understand the Leviathan pod.
Yeah, cool. Right, so you're ticking up our clock 2 spaces.
Yep, so that completes it at 6 out of 6.
Yep, cool. Awesome. This is not a Leviathan. It is not an engine. What does it look like as you're investigating it?
Yeah, I think they have this in their room somewhere. It's now like it's been moved into their space and is in like they just like hide it inside of a shoe. There's like some random shoe that it's hidden in. Like it's not well quarantined or secured or anything at all. And they like are like they just like sit on the floor and like dump it out of the shoe and it like plops into one of their hands. And they're like looking at it.
Yeah, right.
Like, holding it up and
Who's looking
talking
at
at it as if it were like a little pet or something.
Yeah, one of you is doing that while the other like has started doing that while the other is doing something else. Initially,
It's probably Hrist who's fucking around with it on their own.
So I think Rama spots it like glinting in the light, and just their eye catches on it, and they're like, "No, I should have that thing, not Hrist." Right? You're like,
Oh shit!
they're
It's the
having
start of the Return of the King.
They're like, oh wait, no, I want to be the one playing with that right now. And so
Right, and so they like walk over and just like snatch it out of their hand or something.
Yeah.
Like,
Don't do it, Gollum. Don't do it.
Yeah. So what does that look like? So the thing that they're going to come to understand is that it is almost an elemental coalescence of greed, right? Like it is the thing that it like wanting this is what made that frog from that toad from a toad into like
an enormous monster.
An enormous monster, and it over time, right? In the same way that Gollum becomes Gollum over time, the greed that manifested inside the toad over time from possessing this and then wanting to possess other riches is what made it powerful.
It's like a seed.
Yeah, it's a seed
of an emotion.
Yeah, exactly that.
And it grows into a beautiful tree of a horrible monster.
And so, of course, because this is two performers handing this thing, like snatching this thing from each other back and forth, it's like one of them grabs it and then is like takes on a character who is a certain way, you know, who is like a greedy, avaricious, like noble or whatever. And then the other's like, no, give it back, and like takes it, and they like kind of like deflate, and the other one like adopts that character. And so through like playing it out and like embodying that character, I think they like speak on behalf of it while holding it. And this starts to become clear, like, yes, I'm small now, but I might become something greater, and blah blah. Like the character like comes upon them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Is the character? Can I make a really specific and niche reference?
Come at me.
Is the character of like the miserly, incredibly wealthy old man from like Commedia dell'arte? I don't remember what his name is, but he's like this wizened old man, always bent over with this like massive sack of money, which yes, a lot of like testicle jokes are made about, and like just this like grasping, greedy old man who's like, oh no, it's all my money. Is it a character kind of like that?
I think it's more characterized by ambition, right? Because it's about growing into being something horrible, and like that you don't have a lot now, but you want to take things.
Yeah, 100%.
And acquire them.
Yeah, I like that.
So it's like if Ludovic and Alessandra had like a child.
You fucking nerd.
Thanks, Luke.
Am I wrong?
I mean, anyway, so it's the marriage of ambition and greed,
so,
right? So
yeah, it's specifically greed. This is, and if you were to, and you could nurture it in something, right? It can't.
you could like incubate it.
You could incubate it in a person or an engine or something that could become a leviathan, right? Like any other creature.
See, Andrew is tempted to just be like, just feed it to someone, just pull a like Prometheus on someone, but I'm not going to do it.
Yeah, so basically it can grow in anything that is alive or has a mind or anything that could be greedy.
That has an emotional landscape.
Yeah, that has an emotional landscape is the thing there, yeah.
Yeah, you can't just put it in a pond of water.
So yeah, it being in the shoe is very safe.
Yes, shoe is safe.
It's fine.
The shoe is actually is the safest place it could be.
So here's the thing. In the shoe is safe. In the boots is not.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Not those. No.
Was there a person?
Yeah.
Of course not.
Yeah.
So there's like a moment where one of them just like snatches it out of the other's hand and just like puts it in the boot.
Yeah.
Without getting it time to like, take over.
What if they like after it stopped like affecting them and like what's their reaction to that? Especially because like it caused such like petty fighting.
Yeah, I think it's probably like Christ is the one who's more willful and just like puts it in the shoe, and Romer like looks a little bit like and then like and they realize that they're being bad, and they're like, oh darling, I'm so sorry, and then Chris is like, no, it's fine, it's all right, and they like reconcile, but it's very much a like there's a little bit of that like cold politeness of like, oh no, it's quite all right.
Yeah.
And so there's the like mutual apologizing that occurs, and they're like, we really should do something about this. I don't know, it's probably safe in the shoe. So it's not a downtime action. That's just something I get for free, but I'm happy to like pass the camera on to someone else.
Yep, no, that's just that's a thing you do. Cool.
I
understand it now.
I think I have a scene.
Yeah.
I think I have a thing. And I think it's like it's not a super surprising thing. I think we see Swift back in her room. This like glass like pod on the bottom of the Unconquered Sun with like the pool in the middle and this like beautiful like cherry blossom kind of type tree, or like
Do
a
you
white
mean-
bark and red leaves.
Do you mean the unconquered sun that triumphs over heaven, or some other unconquered sun?
I mean the unconquered sun that triumphs over heaven. Yeah.
Just checking.
Yeah, our rooms are all in the flagship.
So,
yeah.
just to be clear,
Yeah, well, I mean, look, it's important to know these things, you know? Like, maybe there's another one. It is probably named after, like, a temple that my people had or some shit. Like,
don't disrespect the unconquered sun that triumphs over heaven by just being like, oh, the unconquered sun. Don't shorten it.
Yeah.
Its mother didn't name it unconquered sun that triumphs over heaven for nothing.
That's you, Andrew.
yes, in this metaphor, you are its mother.
Yes.
Where was I? I've completely lost my train of thought.
Sorry,
But yeah,
you're
and
in
like,
your room.
and like we've seen this sequence before, right? This is like Swift like lying on her front, like in the water, like looking down through the glass at heaven and just like communing with it. And I think she has the bow, cutting harmony, that whatever it actually is. I don't actually remember the name of it.
You mean cunning harmony overcomes adversity?
Overcomes adversity, yeah. And I think she like she goes to pluck the string like she has, and she's also humming, right? Like we've seen this sequence before, but I think the note, like it's slightly off. Like there's something, like she's humming and like making this kind of like mudra, like circular breathing, like chanting noise, and she like plucks the string and it should be in resonance, and it's not. It's like jangly. It's fine. She's jangly and discordant.
Mm-hmm.
Like she's lost the harmony, right? She isn't that anymore.
Yeah.
Because her tsundere is like climbing at a rate of knots.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think she touches the bowstring and makes it like stop vibrating, and takes it and like sets it aside.
Yeah.
And then just like goes back to gazing. And I think as she's like just like floating there, like with her face like, you know, in the water, like looking down
into heaven, and there's like all of the like that you can see
it's all,
like
shifting.
Yeah, and there's like literal like fiery balls of like gas that are suns, but for some reason they're like in our scale, and like a whale shark, but like a Casper whale shark, like floats past.
Yeah, exactly. And like because she's in the water, she can like almost believe that she's there.
Yeah.
And yeah, she's doing like the deep listening thing. And I think the song she is humming shifts until it is Hrist's song that was coming out of the little music box.
Mm-hmm.
And I am going to start a long-term project, which is like to save Hrist and Roma from their dark fate.
Okay. All
like
right.
to stop that fracturing of identity from happening, and
Yeah.
like just like make that a thing that just is not going to happen.
There's a clock already.
That's
for
pretty
that.
gay, friend.
Yeah, there's I'm tugging. Yeah, I'm gonna tug on the other side of that clock.
Yeah, you're tugging on the other side of the clock. That's cool. Yep.
Yeah.
I feel like this is a thing that's big enough that Swift can have her own clock, and
Okay.
if she completes it, it undoes progress on mine. But that, you know,
Yeah, it
one of those
undoes
things.
progress. So yeah, like a smaller clock that undoes. Like,
It's like a 4 count, and every time I fill it, it like
I
ticks
think that makes
the big
sense.
one back or
Yep.
something.
Yep, that sounds good.
Also, Luke, don't forget that you have to have rewritten your Dark Fate or Fated.
Yes.
Yes, I do.
Because you know
I'm
that
kind
they
of
can change that.
I'm kind of wondering if now it isn't just Hrist.
Right.
Like I think maybe that's what's come out of this is a narrowing that like Roma isn't like the fate isn't about Roma. Roma just is like a casualty because without Hrist, like, they're not going to probably they're probably not going to cope very well. But like
Hrist is the willful one who is chafes at it the most.
Yeah, Hrist is doomed, and then Roma will like fall into darkness as a consequence of that. But that's not really the fate. The fate is like that Hrist falls.
Yeah.
So I think I'm gonna solidify it down to that.
Great. No, I think that's a totally valid way to run it.
That's really cool. I like that.
But yeah, so I want to save Hrist. That is what I'm doing. I'm opening a clock to pull that thing back, and I'm trying to find where on the fuck on my character sheet I have recorded my fated verse.
Yep. There's also
Oh,
a
yeah, it's in
section on
promises.
your
It's in
character
promises.
sheet there's a section on your character sheet for clocks as well.
Yeah. Faded person. Crest.
Cool.
Cool. Yeah. So I'm gonna start a clock, and I get to do a tick, don't I?
We'll roll to see what your clock, how many ticks you do.
Yep. So it's reduce the size of the Crest Dark Fate clock. It is out of 4. I think I am using Analyze.
That seems reasonable.
And Andrew, can +1 die effects and the like take us over 2 when we're not transcended? Or are we just like hard limited at 2?
Your action rating is stuck at 2. You can get bonus dice and stuff to pop you up.
Cool. Fantastic. All right. So, because I am an oracle and I can see the myriad timelines leading from past to future, I get +1 die. Oh, hang on a minute. No, that does seem to be specific to gather information.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Andrew, am I reading that right?
I believe so, yeah.
An increased effect when you gather information. If it relates to your fated person, you also get +1 die.
Yeah. Yeah, so
All right.
you're not gathering info, you're actually doing it.
Darn it. Oh well. All right. Regardless, yeah. So I'm rolling Analyze. I'm gonna push myself because I have a bit of stress. I have a bit of stress to spend for once.
Yeah.
Position and effect don't matter.
Nope.
Bonus to 1. I'll take it.
I mean, yeah, that's still two ticks.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
It's not bad.
But like Andrew's clock is also going up like awfully fast.
Well, you'll need to get on that.
I'm doing my best here.
All right.
Yeah, and so I think like
Yeah, how are you steering things away from this? What do you
that's what I'm trying to figure out. I think at least for now, because this is like early stages, I think what I'm doing is like singing your song like into heaven, like adding it to like the great, chorus of celestial harmony, but changing the end so that it doesn't just like have that really abrupt cutoff. Like I'm singing into heaven a version of it that keeps going and like trying to like make that how heaven thinks it should go rather than the other way, to like reduce the inertia that's gonna like fight against your dark fate being changed. And for now, I think that's what this looks like.
Cool.
Cool.
Yeah.
Neat. Who wants to do another one? Yeah, no, let's do another one.
I've got I was considering investigating the darkness. I just want to check before I do, is that going to achieve anything? Because I know you need you need five segments filled for it to be meaningful.
If you can get us another 2 points, that's really good, which is achievable with a single roll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You did
Okay.
4
Cool.
or better.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. I'll investigate the darkness then. But first, just some kind of free play stuff. I think Adna's approach for how to do that in this case is to armor up, suit up, and to patrol just inside the entrance to heaven. So kind of see what's going on and check it out and everything. But her default would be to go to Cassiel, Reminder of Hope given by Cassiel onto a bitter world. Which last mission when we fought the tentacle thing got pretty badly damaged, I believe. It's got two.
It also had a thread. It also had threads pulled out of it that went into my tattoos.
Yeah, right. Yeah. And so I think she's dwelling on things and goes into the hangar or wherever these things are kept and and grabs it, and there's just like this moment of like, you know, when the, like in an anime when like the background like goes black or whatever, and there's like the lightning kind of thing, and like that moment of silence and like that, and then like it burns her hand, and she like recoils, and just like doesn't do anything else after that. Like it's just inert, and she's like, she just kind of like stares at it, tries again. It's just inert. Doesn't respond to her, and she like storms away. And instead, she goes and like spends some time with like the like strategists and tacticians and so on in the Unconquered Sun that triumphs over heaven, like control room, and like learns from them and talks to them about like, you know, and kind of tries to identify like the whole thing in Pacific Rim with like, they're coming more frequently, you know, there's going to be 3 of them next and 4 of them next, and like tries to, is there a pattern? Like what is it that they're responding to? Why, you know, what's motivating them? How do we fight that? And that kind of thing.
That's cool.
So yeah.
Yeah, no, that sounds good.
I love the idea too of this like control room where there's like a big ship's wheel and like a bunch of parchment maps and scrolls, and like people are around. It's like a weird, retro version, but still is arranged with like the big circular table and like lots of consoles and stuff.
And it's all manual and stuff. Yeah,
and, like people with like astrolabes and weird like stargazing equipment and stuff.
There's totally there's totally an orrery in the middle of the room that is a model of heaven.
But that looks like has like star signs and stuff on it. You know, like it's very astrological rather than astronomical.
Oh, it's set into the floor. There's like a sinkhole in the middle of the chamber, and it's not like, and it's like rings that are like in layers like a cake. It's not like an actual orrery, and so like you can descend down the staircase and like view the configurations of heaven. And I think like a lot of time is spent trying to like interpret what the drifting of the celestial objects means.
Yeah. And like the communications also has this big like steampunk contraption of like where they like speak into a tube and it like actually physically like projects it onto the rest of the ship. Like and there's another device where they control like flags on the outside of the ship for like communicating
your
range. Exactly, yeah. Sorry, my headphones tangled up. Give me a second.
Yeah, I love drawing on like Man of War era naval stuff.
Yes.
It's like weird, fancy religious versions of that.
That's so cool. I love that.
I'm feeling there's something very like Warhammer 40k and the way that they like the tech priests. There's something very like that about like the maintenance of
the vaguely like gothic-y, and
like we worship the ship and we like anoint it with the sacred oils, and like you have to say the proper prayers to wake like the spirit in the machine.
Cool. So for an investigate, is it I roll for this? Yes.
Yep.
So
yep.
The only difference, which is I actually like instantiated this in writing now. So investigate the darkness is replaced by make preparations. When you make preparations, describe how you are readying the bastion for the next attack and roll an appropriate action. Advance the readiness track based on the result, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Cool.
So it's just to give it a little bit more of a clear
what
kinds of stuff we want to be doing.
Yeah, because
it's not that we're going out and investigating, it's that we are making ourselves ready.
And so still, like with Investigate the Darkness, you ask the MC 1 or 2 questions from your gather info list. And because we have the Shrine of Eyes active, we can now ask an extra question.
Oh, yes.
Follow-up. So we can really grill Ash for details of things.
Exactly.
Yay. Cool. Okay, so I think it's probably a perceive or analyze, actually.
This sounds like, to me, like analyze, because you're trying to take information and make something of it rather than just like interpret it flatly.
Yeah, which I'm not very good at, but we'll get to see how we go.
I'm willing to give you a help die.
Okay, yeah, sweet. So just 1 extra dice?
Yep.
Yeah, and you'll spend a stress to do that.
Yeah.
4. So is that How
That's
many
two.
does that bump up? That's two.
Exactly
Sweet.
good enough.
Great. Wonderful. Cool. So do you need to narrate how you're helping, or does that just help?
Yeah, so like describe what you're doing to. Although you already did,
Yeah.
right? Of like talking to them and trying to
Mm.
like, plot out the.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Helps.
then yeah, and they're like,
But you get to ask questions.
Yeah.
ask questions.
Yeah, so just to like justify my helping die.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right, Mel. So you're like in this control chamber, like helping out down
Mhm.
there.
Mm-hmm.
I think Swift shared with you where she wouldn't have shared with Camiel or any of these other assholes, like some forgotten little tidbits of like significance to certain constellations. Like she was like, oh yeah, like if like X, Y, and Z like are all in like a certain alignment, like here is like the thing that my people knew that meant that y'all have forgotten. Like she's filling in some gaps in their like interpretive model.
Yeah. Okay,
And like
cool.
she's not willing to tell them because she doesn't really care for them.
Yeah.
But she's like, oh, your face is so innocent.
Cool. Okay, awesome. So, questions I will ask. With the question, how can I help X? Is X meant to be a person now? Or can it be anything? Like,
And put what you like.
Put
In,
insert
what
a
you
word.
like
Cool.
in the X.
As long as it is a word that fits. If you asked, how can I help water? That would perhaps not be a kosher
but you could also
Yeah.
say
for
that.
that. But
You could also ask like, how could I help us? Something. Like it could be a phrase.
yeah,
rather than
okay, yeah,
a word.
cool. Awesome. Okay, well, how can we... 'cause, like, our ultimate goal is, like, not just to sit here on the defensive, but to kind of take the offensive, right?
yes.
Certainly that is us, the character's goal. Maybe,
Yeah.
Maybe
That's
everyone else
the-
is kind of more complacent about stuff, but
Yeah, totally. Okay, how can I help take the advantage or gain the advantage?
Initiative.
Yeah, seize the initiative.
Against. So this is against like heaven specifically, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Which we're going towards heaven, Ash.
yes, we know that.
Yeah. Right. So how can you help gain the advantage? Yeah. Nice. I think. I think if you were to like find in heaven like a greater power or a greater like something and like negotiate with it or defeat it,
Cool.
like whatever's
Okay,
like,
yeah.
like there are a couple of like larger creatures, larger beings sending forth the leviathans that are coming out of that are sending
Right.
forth their leviathans in heaven.
Yeah.
And they are less fleshy and physical, right? Leviathans
Okay.
are embodiments. These are not
Yeah.
that.
They're more esoteric.
Yeah.
So
And if you were
we've
find
got to
them-
confront the gods directly.
Yeah, exactly. And like the more you do that, the more that will be a front that is like
Okay.
less
Cool.
present.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Awesome. Next question. What is most dangerous here?
I think the fact that that no one's worked out how to like properly put a gate on that on the
Yeah,
portal
that
to
it's just
heaven.
essentially an open thing.
Yeah,
Yeah. Cool.
yeah. I think that's the biggest issue is like you have no way of guarding against that.
Yeah. It relies
Um,
purely on us.
Yeah, if you had some ally or something that could help you with it,
Mm.
maybe
Ally on the other side
Like a
or something.
giant toad
Yeah.
made
Something
from
like
greed.
that.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, cool. And so I get a third question because of the Shrine of Eyes?
Yep.
Or is that... Yep, cool.
Yep.
Who will my enemies try to single out?
Swift.
It's
No, it's yeah, it's 100%. Like, if we're talking about the things from heaven, Swift, they're going to try and single out Swift because Swift
Swift
kind
has
of
all this
is
knowledge
very,
and-
it glows to them, right? Is very very
Yeah.
very obvious. Swift kind of leaks weirdness.
Okay, cool. Yeah. I
Is
think
that
that's,
Swift, or is that just me as a person?
That's you as a person, Luke.
Exactly.
You are full of spooky mystical energy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
even if I wasn't
100%.
playing Swift, I'd still just be.
Exactly.
Yeah, that sounds great. Awesome. I think that's everything.
Cool. All right. Who wants to do another one? Who's done 2 now?
I haven't done 2.
So it's Adna and Swift have done 2. Cool.
Yeah. I have a thought.
Mm-hmm.
I think I would like to investigate the darkness, and I have an idea about how that would look. Which is I think we just don't ever see what happens with Ock in the
Right. Yep.
discipline room. But I think that again in the middle of the night, because like this seems to be the only time that like Cert ever does anything like of note. He's like in the middle of the night when nobody is awake. He like organizes for Ock to be like secretly brought to like his apartment. And I think like she looks really unwell. She looks like someone has disciplined her. And I think I mean I don't know. I'm not gonna I'm not gonna narrate like how she is behaving in that way, but I think basically Cert like asks her to come. I think the fact that she goes is like optional. Like it's not like bring this person to me regardless of whether they want to. It's like, you know, she has come here because she has like agreed to come. I think like the first thing that Cert does when like she's brought is like brings her into a room where there is like a bed and sort of like lays her on it and begins to like administer traditional medicines. And takes out of like a little tiny like really I think there's a box that he has like underneath his bed that's like the most organic looking thing in his entire house. It's like really kind of like rough hewn wood, and it has all of these carvings all over it. And it's like very handcrafted, and it looks kind of really strange in this like sparse space. And in it he has like some salves and some like I think maybe there are also some like things that you would use for like smoking, like incense type stuff. And he like begins to kind of like he asks her, you know, may I do this? And then it, like she says yes, and he begins to like administer the things as they're supposed to be done. And it's this very kind of like solemn process because he's, you know, attending to an elder and whatever. And I think that he asks her if she will help him do a ritual, and I think like there's a specific name that he uses that is like in their like shared language, but it's like it refers to a specific ritual that is like one to speak with ghosts and the dead, and asks if like she will help him to do this ritual and speak to them. And I think that's the like investigation that I want to do. I want to investigate the darkness by like doing an old ritual of my people with the help of a witch.
Yeah.
To like talk to them.
Yeah, that sounds good.
What should I?
But yeah, what is that?
Roll, yeah. I actually think, based on what I in how I intend to like speak to them, I actually think it's defy again. But that's
Well, that's your choice then. Yeah, I think that's fine. That's fair.
because like I feel like this whole thing is like very not allowed.
Yeah.
Like super not allowed.
Uh-huh. That makes sense to me.
Okay.
I'm gonna give you a helping die.
All right. What does that look like?
I think what that looks like is I think it's two things. One of which is an action, and the other of which is just like a state of affairs. I think Swift is the one who brings Ok to you.
Yeah.
Because like
Cool.
my ability
Yeah.
to move like out of sync with time lets me do
Yeah.
that like safely and secretly.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. And you're like one of the
so-
few people that I would like trust to not like betray us. Yeah.
Yeah, and who like Ok probably would like be willing to like
Yeah.
engage with because I'm not part of the Bastion.
Yeah. That makes sense to me.
And she and I made some kind of a connection on our mission together. And I think the other way in which my presence is helpful is I don't think Swift is like consciously doing it, but it's the fact that Swift is leaking magic juice everywhere.
Yeah.
And so like having me in the building while this is going on is like
Yeah.
a giant fucking beacon to the ghosts.
Yeah. Cool.
Like, hey, here's where the party is.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. I think you're not like
I'm not involved in the ritual.
supposed
I like
to be in the room for it, but yeah, you're like
Yeah.
I think you're
I'm
like,
like-
yeah, somewhere else in
I'm
my
like
house.
waiting in the next room because I'm then gonna have to take Ok home again.
Yeah.
But like just me being nearby like distorts the gravity well of like strangeness a little.
Yeah, cool. I love
Yeah.
that. So that's one bonus die on
Yep.
this.
Look at us reincorporating
Let's
Ash.
see.
Aren't you proud?
Yeah, it's good.
Oh yeah.
Very nice.
Did you crit that shit?
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome.
Sweet.
Nice.
Cool. Okay. So,
Holy shit. We could unlock for the very first time, we could fill both the first two tiers of the readiness if we really wanted to.
Because
real good.
that's 4 on a success,
That's
isn't it? On a,
3.
Wait, no, it's a 3 because it's not a crit. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's not
that's
crit,
3.
which would be
And then like
5,
we do
right?
still have one action, right? Like we could do the thing if we
We can
wanted
go to
We
tier
could do
2 and then go and like hunt a Leviathan or something.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that
Yeah.
sounds
Do
sweet.
it well ready enough.
Yeah.
instead of dealing with badness in the Bastion. We can just let that sit and fester.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you know.
That sounds healthy.
Yeah, that seems fine. So then I asked some questions from my gather information list. Yep. So and I think the way that this looks, there is a part of the ritual is like an offering. So you make like an offering of food, and I think you also make like I think in this case there is like the option in this ritual where if you make also like a blood offering, like cut your hand or something and like give that also, then like it shows your sort of humility. And then I think there is an element where you literally write a letter to the dead. You write it out, and like there are some like specific like there's some form stuff that needs to be like fulfilled, like you have
Ritual
to-
phrases.
yeah,
that-
exactly. And addresses and things, and then you place the letter like with the offering, and the idea is that when the ghosts come to eat, they will see the letter and they will read it. And I think there's like a cool thing where like if like the sign that the ghosts have read your letter is like the text is gone, or like something like that. Like they take it.
I have a very
and-
important question, Emily.
Yeah.
Is the food offering
Mm.
very good quality fresh food, or is it rotten and decaying food?
Very good.
What kind of food offering to dead people customs do your people have?
No, it's definitely like very good food because
Cool.
I think
You'll fall on that side of the
they're-
line. Taste of the world
Yeah.
that was. Interesting.
Kind of. It's about it's a respect thing, because I think that amongst his people there is the understanding that ghosts are not a thing that are naturally supposed to happen. Like if ghosts exist, something is very wrong with the world as a
At
whole.
large.
Like
Yeah.
there is a balance that is off and wrong, and like they shouldn't happen. It's not just like, oh, sometimes people are grumpy and they come back from the dead. It's like, no, this is bad thing. So like
There's some fundamentally broken thing.
yeah.
that happens.
So like it's very important to show them respect and comfort and make them as like
Person-like as possible.
possible. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um.
I'm sorry
I
to
think-
derail. I just like
No, that's
I have an
yeah.
interest because I literally did
I know.
stuff about this in my thesis.
Cool. Yeah. And I think actually that so we would see him writing this letter, and it starts off with all this kind of like like very like form-like, polite sort of address to the ghosts of like the people who have been killed. So it's specifically like to his people who were murdered, not necessarily that town, but like in general. And basically the letter is like a plea, a request, but it is a request for vengeance. Like it is a please, like help, and like work through me to like wreak like terrible stuff on the people that killed you. Like it's absolutely, and it says like, you know, like it apologizes for like his attempts to like calm their like hatred, because now he understands that that's not a thing that can or should be done. And it's just totally like, no, please, like let's punish them, even knowing that that's not going to like put you to rest. Let's like just do it anyway. So it's this very
Little
like
spite.
yeah, it's this very like formal, and like as he's writing it, like he's got that like super calm like face on, and yeah, he's just writing this like really like vicious kind of thing.
Like it's almost a diatribe, right? Like of like yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
I'm
That's
not
right.
promising that I am going to like attempt to write what this might look like and actually make a cool prop by next session, but like I really kind of want to.
That's cool.
So
Yeah.
that's the thing that might happen.
If you do, I will give you a bit of reference material that I have found.
Cool.
Questions.
Yeah.
Okay. Where can I gain an edge?
Can you like
So
do you want to elaborate on that little?
yeah, because this is interesting, right? Because I am investigating the darkness, and in this case, it's specifically the aspect that is like the ghosts and the undead. But I'm not like necessarily acting against it. I'm investigating it by kind of like getting all in it.
I mean, I
I don't
think
know how that.
The
I
ghosts
think
give you
it's-
some words in a language that you don't understand as either being your own or being the Bastions.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. They give you some strange arcane words.
Okay.
That if you find their use, like the ghosts are saying there's something happening, and these words are like a lead.
Okay. All right.
Like this, they're literally giving you an edge.
Okay. Cool. All right. Sorry, I didn't know whether you like. Is this a thing that you're actually sending me, or
No,
is
I'm
it
not
just
sending
like I
any
should write a
specific
note of
words.
like
No.
I have some mysterious words
Yeah.
that I need to translate?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Got it. Sweet. I will make a note of mysterious words.
Yep, they're literally giving you this as a gift of a thing that you could not have otherwise.
Cool. The ghosts of my people have given me some unknown words.
yeah, I feel like
Translate them for an edge.
Yeah, what
going
you do with
going
them
with like
is up to you.
Yep.
If you translate them or do other things.
Yep. Okay. Cool.
yeah.
Okay.
I feel I
Yeah.
was just
I'm
like
not saying you have to
use
translate
them.
them.
Use them. Mm-hmm. Cool. I don't even necessarily have to know what they mean.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
yeah,
I
I
like
would just
it.
like for a moment to just like address the way that we have built our bastion, because you said it feels strange, and like the way that we have built our world is a little at odds with like the assumptions made by both the core text and this playbook, which is that like our mundane lives here, meaning the last bastion, mirror the darkness, is like a default assumption of the text at large. And like specifically like this playbook, at least Andrew, it felt to me like it was very clear that like the bastion is also a source of like bad darkness shit that we have to deal with. And
yeah, I mean, Ash has a principle now that just, it literally says that the institutions of the Bastion are also monsters.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and so I feel like it feels to me that the easiest way to like reconcile that with the world building we have already done is that like when we talk about the darkness outside of like the ghosts and the spirits, like that is also like that is actually also inside the city, like not in a literal
100%.
sense, but like our entire civilization is like haunted by its like blood soaked like
like
ghost haunted like terrible history.
And it's not at all at odds with the stuff we've made of having these like holdover military institutions and the whole framing of et cetera, like it feels
absolutely
feels appropriate.
Can I ask another
I mean, you got a 6.
question?
Yeah.
How does it, what does it say? Does it just
I
say
can ask a fucking million
couple
questions.
questions?
Yeah,
I
so
won't
you,
ask
you get to ask 1 or 2 by default, and then we also get a follow-up question by having the Shrine of Eyes. So you could ask Ash a question about her answer to this question if there's
What
like
do the
more than
words
one.
mean, for example?
Yep, like legit, 100%.
I mean,
But that's a follow-up question. Ask your second question, and then you can ask a follow-up.
What might happen if I give the ghosts a way to exert their will in the physical world here?
Excellent question. I want to hear this answer. What are these murderous ghosts going to do if I...
What are they going to do? Exactly.
bodies?
What's going to happen is we're going to do a Friends at the Table, we're going to stop playing this game, and just for a little while we're going to play a session of Murderous Ghosts by Vincent Baker.
Sweet. Right.
So yeah, if you were to give them a way to...
Like,
You would let them in.
Yeah. I mean, that puts a crack in the foundation of the wall, right? Like, you start to just, like, people would die, and they would
Which
die in
people?
such a way that, like,
which sorts of people would die?
important people, people who represent, like, what the Bastion is about, things that hold the society together.
Sweet.
Which would weaken the wall.
Yeah, it would start to make push you in a direction of the Bastion. It's moving in the direction of destroying the Bastion, not like changing it.
Yeah. Okay.
It would just implode and probably take everyone down with it.
But I think that I think there's an additional answer here, which is you would be contributing to that, which is to that thing, which is already present in some way.
Which is already what? Sorry.
Already in some way present.
Yeah. That kind of like cracking of the boundaries
I mean,
between. So you mean specifically like the wall between heaven and the Bastion?
No, I mean.
Or do you mean the wall between the Bastion and the outside?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
But by something already happening, I mean you would not be the only person bringing ghosts in.
Right, other people are doing this
Right.
already.
That's good to know. That's really interesting. I mean, not strictly good. Interesting to know. Okay. As my follow-up question, I will legitimately ask about the words. I know that that's
No,
like
100%.
like yeah, because I wouldn't like I don't see why I wouldn't do that.
Yeah. What's your question?
What do the words mean?
The words are a ward. They're in the language of heaven.
Oh, okay.
And so they're like, what's the script that is the like heavenly script? If
Enochian?
Yeah, Enochian.
It's basically Enochian.
Yeah.
And yeah, they are to create a wall that can be like passed through but not seen. I.e., it's a combination. It's like a permeable cloak of invisibility. People can't really think of something, like they can't really like notice or think about the thing that's behind the wall, but it can be passed through.
So
It's a someone else's problem field.
Yeah.
Oh, so like if you were to put this wall around something, everyone outside of it would just sort of discount it. But it's not a wall that traps things.
Yep. Traditionally,
It's like
I think you know that traditionally,
psychic invisibility.
yeah. I think that that traditionally it would be like inscribed on a door.
Yep. Like a door to an apartment that someone might have, for example. Yeah, that kind of door. Okay.
Or a gateway between heaven and this world used to keep greedy mortals away.
Yep.
Yeah.
I would like to submit, I think within the fiction, it makes sense that how you get the answer to this question is that, like, Swift speaks the language of heaven.
Yeah.
Like, I think that is a thing
that
that like
makes
we have
sense.
established in the fiction.
Yeah, absolutely. I was already thinking, is it like a very, very old form of like language that you would know anyway? So my intention was to come and ask you about it. So
So I think in the fiction, I think that's what that looks like. Is like Swift like tells you what it means and what the spell does.
Yeah.
I think she
yeah.
remembers it
That's
from
great.
days of yore.
I love the idea of me being like, are these very old words? And you're like, no, they're words from heaven. Like,
Yeah,
oh
they're
yes,
timeless.
they are. But
They're timeless words. They are. Yeah.
yeah, that's
Yeah, and I think I think what she and people like her used to do in their capacity as like priests was like ward the ways that they used to get in and out of heaven, so that like normal people didn't just like accidentally stumble into the star void, because that would be kind of dangerous for those people.
And I think like narratively, like I tell you after we've sort of done this ritual and I come like out of the room and bring like Och back out.
And before I take Och home, like I think
And before you take Och home,
there's,
like
an intermediate scene.
sort of take you like aside, like maybe while she's sort of sitting and like drinking like some tea or something. I like take you aside and I just basically say like, do you understand these words? And I tell you the words, but I don't like tell you the context or anything.
Yeah. And I'm just like, of course.
And you like know the translation. And I think like aside from that, I have said to you that I like needed Och here because I wanted to apply like traditional medicine, but I haven't like explicitly told you about like I'm gonna try and talk with some ghosts. But I feel like it's not that I'm like specifically keeping it from you. It's that like I can't tell you this, like either culturally or like as far as like safety. So it's very much like I am going to be doing like traditional medicine. And it would be inappropriate for you to be in the room. And I'm like, we had a version of that like expression, and I know what's going on. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, cool. A ghost told you some magic words because like there is no possible way you could have learned them otherwise.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, weird magic shit happened. It's chill.
Yep. Cool. All right.
Cool.
Neat.
And
we have one more action.
Take a cool badass action.
And we have time in this slot as well.
Hmm?
It's gonna work out. All right.
Yeah. Exactly. will be perfectly timed to have completed our downtime this session.
Look, that's like this group plays.
That's good.
slowly,
No,
and that's fine.
we do.
Yeah.
That's because
we
this
went in-
bit's really fun too. Like, why not enjoy it?
Yeah, I mean, this is also part of the game. Like,
Yeah, absolutely.
it's not something we have to race through to get to the actual game. Like, it is
Yeah,
also
but like, yeah,
110%
I think the
part
point
of
I'm
play.
making is that compared to other like blades and co groups, we tend to play slower rather than faster. The better we get, like the more we get into it.
Yeah, we don't get efficient.
Yeah,
we get
it's about
lingering and
deeper
indulgent.
engagement.
Yeah.
Okay,
just
who
like
is
feelings.
injured? The two of you are injured still.
Yeah, Search is the
Okay.
most.
I've still got a level
I'm
1,
still-
but like,
I'm
no big deal.
still quite injured. I'm another 3 points away from, like getting my level 2 down to level 1.
we are
Yeah,
also
I reckon-
2 points away
how's
from
Adna doing?
the
Does
second
Adna have
tier
any
of readiness.
I've got one level 1. It doesn't actually have an effect on me because the effect's reduced, but
Oh,
it's still
right.
like occupying one of my slots. So,
Okay.
but yeah, it's not super important.
What is that one?
That one is I've had it for a while. I think it is crushing guilt.
Fuck.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
this is from. This
From
is
the mission we
Oh,
went
that's
on.
from you
YouTube.
shouting at me.
Oh
Yeah.
right. Yeah. Yay.
I feel like
from a 2 down to
I
a
feel
1.
like from a narrative standpoint, I just want to argue that no one but Emily should be allowed to take actions to resolve that.
Which I literally can't do though.
Yeah, Sir can't help because he's too.
I can't do that
the
actually.
bit that
He's
makes
too
it good.
generic.
You need to apologize.
I can't apologize.
You need to take the cat leaves a dead mouse on your doorstep move, and then you need to make some weird gift leaving apology.
Oh yeah. Right, that is a thing. That is a thing, isn't it?
The workaround exists.
Yeah, safe
Yeah.
distance.
So-
yeah.
Yeah. So
I'm
yeah,
gonna help-
I feel like we should either help someone recover or finish that tick of the like. We should wrap up a thing. We shouldn't like
Yeah.
start a new thing.
My feeling is that we probably want to gamble an extra downtime action to try to complete our investigation,
Yeah.
and that we're aiming to do a tier 2 mission.
Hey, let's do it. Yeah.
Yep.
I feel
But-
that, and I might put my hand up to be the person who rolls that
Yeah,
because I'll
like,
be
we
at
want our
3.
best-
I'll be at 3 dice because I got good analyze and I got my spooky powers.
And so I can help Sir recover because you're at 2 out of 4 on your healing clock.
Yeah, 1 out
As
of
of-
4.
One progress. I thought Anna rolled well.
No,
No,
I rolled a
really
1.
poorly.
That was in the early phase of downtime where we were doing really terribly. We've since moved into the
Yeah.
good phase of
Yeah.
downtime.
Oh, and that's this empathize roll with a 1.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Excellent. Great work. All right.
Thank you. Thank you.
You tried your best. It was a rubbish bento, but you tried.
It's the thought that counts, but also make better food next time.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
So okay, how are Kirsten and I going to help you recover? So you have wrung out and
And
your level 1
tinnitus,
harm is
which
tinnitus,
is like,
yeah.
yeah. But yeah, like I think it's the sort of main thing is this whole like haven't been beaten up, but like having to just take it because like he is under the impression that that is the way to like any kind of solution, like that fighting back in that instance wasn't going to get him anywhere, but it was
Right.
just really shitty not to fight back in any way. So that's sort of the main thing. He's just like super angry and has no way of like expressing it. Yeah.
So here is how we are going to help you recover then, which is that you receive a letter slipped under your door, and the letter is blank except for at the top it says, "Dear Sir, we invite you to write us a sketch, and we will perform it for you at your leisure." And so essentially what they are kind of offering you is that like if you have any feelings that you can't express, we will express them for you to like help you process your feelings
Aw,
in
that's
this roundabout
So
way.
good.
And
That's
so yeah, this
awesome.
like blank letter for you to fill out
That's so
appears,
good.
and that way we can keep this theme of letter writing.
Yeah, I was gonna say I love that because yeah, that's the continuation of that. Yeah, absolutely. And I think like when he like, because I think like he's in the room when it gets like slipped under the door, but of course like if he would open the door, like you wouldn't be there because you've already slipped off or whatever. But like I think he sees it come under the door, and there's like a moment where his brain goes, "Oh, it's a letter from the ghosts," right? Like,
Yeah. Got back to me so
they're bringing
quickly.
back. That's so
But
nice.
it's in this like flowery like calligraphy. Like they don't write, they do calligraphy. Like they
Yes.
can't ever. They're too extra to do anything
Yeah.
normal.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I'm
Yeah.
curious. Is the ghosts have written back? Is that a like, oh, it's nice, or is that a oh shit? Because like,
Yeah,
from the way you described the like weird forbidden ritual to contact the bad ghosts that show the world is out of balance, it sounds like them stepping outside the barriers of the ritual to write you a return letter
Yes.
would be like an
Very
oh shit apocalyptic bullshit.
Yeah.
Ominous.
Oh yeah. Yeah. True. Yes. So it would absolutely be like a very terrifying second, and then of course he opens it up and like immediately recognizes, oh no, this is like Kristen Rama.
yeah.
You can tell by the writing.
Yeah.
So he's like quite relieved. I think. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So he like sits down with it, and like begins to write. I wonder how we like see this. Is this like is the action the letter and the offer, or is the action like the thing that you then perform?
I think us performing it is the
Yeah.
thing, but I would love to just have this
Free play.
go
Yeah.
like you. It's like shots of him writing interspersed with shots of them performing, but with like no
cool.
sound. It's just like
Yeah.
a little montage of it.
Yeah, I love it. What does he need
What
to
feelings do
see?
you write down?
And like I'm picturing like very dispassionate Cert writing.
Yeah, of course.
Writing these extremely intense, visceral
Yeah.
things that then
Oh,
Chris and
yeah.
Rama are like portraying.
Yeah, and I think that's it. Like, I think it is just like, I think it's really like violent. Like, I think there is like a bunch of stuff that's just really, and again, it's like done in that, like I imagine if it's being performed, it's done in that very like obviously theatrical way. You know, like there are like red streamers for blood and like things like
Yeah.
that. But, like, it's still
Oh, right.
kind
So whereas
of.
I was picturing a much more uncomfortable, like a much like raw and more real performance.
Oh yeah.
Like Buto, like really like tortured and like physically demanding because it is very real.
But I think actually, like, I feel like for in this case, that's not a thing that like Search doesn't necessarily need it to be that way, because he doesn't want Kristen Raumer to like have this suffering feelings. He just wants to have something that he can like see that like project his like have the catharsis. So I don't think he necessarily requires it to be.
Now, because this is Chris and Rama's personal work, it is not as formal as some of the other stuff. As we've seen, they have this like their own expression that's starting to emerge. So it's a bit more like avant-garde theater style, where one of them is like dispassionately like reading a thing, and then the other is like feeling the emotions, and it's like there's like a weird like flatness to it.
It's the
where-
juxtaposition. It's like it's Brecht, right? It's really Brechtian. It's
You're
all
It's
about
not
like,
meant to be a realistic
Yeah,
way.
yeah. We're
Yeah, it's
trying
all
to
about, like-
portray it. We're trying to embody the feelings for you, so
Exactly.
you can like vicariously have expressed them.
Yeah.
I can imagine there being like an endurance endurance performance kind of element, like Luke mentioned, just having that like intense, like demanding, like physicality.
Yeah, and so it's like a processing thing. It's like
Yeah.
very emotional and kind of difficult, but hopefully cathartic. We'll see how good of
absolutely.
a job we do.
Yeah, yeah.
So this is going to be Express. I don't think I get any extra dice anywhere in here. So I'd be rolling one die. I'm going to spend one of my links inside myself to give myself an extra die to help myself, which is weird and convoluted, but there it is. It's the Kristen Romer relationship is feeling
Exactly.
them doing a better
There are
job of
two.
helping
There are
you.
two of you. Yeah.
Because you're important to them,
Aww.
and your story is important to them. So this is also part of my
Yes.
promise. Kind of
Yeah.
multitask here, right? Of
Yeah, definitely.
not letting certain stories be changed by anyone, And so
Oh,
knowing what your inner world
okay.
is really important to the two of them. And so
Oh,
there's
shit.
also them doing like a character study of you.
I have a thought then also because what is I think what you're doing here just want to read a thing, sorry.
So don't mind. I'm just gonna roll it right now
yeah,
and
go
see
for
how
it.
I do. Okay, I get a 6.
Excellent.
Nice.
Needed that extra die, so you're actually gonna get 3 slices of your recovery pie.
Mhm.
3 delicious slices of recovery pie.
That's
Served
wonderful.
hot.
That will bring me up to 4, and then I can take everything down, right?
Yeah, so
Yep.
you can bump all your harm down.
Thank you
Yeah.
so much. Yay, that's so good. So I do not have tinnitus anymore. I am wrung out, but I'm only wrung out at a level 1.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so good. Thank you.
Love the idea that maybe the tinnitus was preserved by your just like enormous tension headache.
Yes.
You're fine, like, it's just, you've been like clenching your jaw the whole
I just
time.
like cry the headache away. So absolutely, the content of this play is simultaneously about Surt's anger, but it is basically the story of if we like translate this into the real world, like the conflict between Set and Horus, and like their kind of war. So it is like that specific like myth, but like in the way that we have embodied the deities, it is also like directly like a part of like Surt, the person,
Surt's own personality and
and history.
inner world is defined by this template kind of.
Yeah, exactly. But like, you would kind of, when you would read the letter, you would recognize, oh, this is basically that story.
It's like an allegory for
Yeah.
that other story, essentially. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And that we can use that as a, mirror upon ourselves and all blah 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 narratives.
Yeah.
As
Exactly.
therapy, etc.
Yeah.
Great. So that's how we help you recover, and
Sweet.
it actually works.
Yes, it works so well.
On the
Thank
subject
you.
of promises, because I have just remembered, what do we want to do about the fact that we changed a bunch of the promise prompts?
Oh, I don't know.
Because like, there's a couple of mine that I'm like not super happy with, and also just like Andrew
You can
in general
change
in the
them
game.
to,
Like,
to match the new prompts if you want.
Yeah,
Yep.
and we can promises can be changed just at beginning of session. So if you change
Okay,
your mind
cool.
about a promise
Cool.
or want to renew a new one next session.
Yeah.
I was of half a mind to drop Adna and make a promise about Swift, but
Rude.
it would be too cruel. And actually, Adna is still the most important and the prettiest. So
It's true. I mean, it's just objectively true.
yeah, it's just what it is.
yeah. So I mean, I'm gonna write some new promises for next session because I don't actually like either of the ones I've got.
Yeah, that sounds
Because
good.
they just like they are promises that are very hard to have come up, and so I want promises that like will produce more content in the game and not
Yeah.
just me be like, how the fuck do I how frame a scene?
And then, I mean, yeah, there's definitely going to be that familiarity, proficiency thing, right? Of like, play the game a bit. Probably your first promises you wrote aren't going to be your
Great.
best
Yeah,
ones.
it's the burning wheel beliefs thing, right? Like it's a learning. It's a
yeah,
learning
like writing
Yeah.
in beliefs is
100%.
a thing. It's a skill.
Oh, also I just wanted, like, I want to kind of slightly, like, retroactively backtrack a little bit because I think, like, I just didn't communicate a thing when Adna and I were doing our scene that I think is, like, kind of important because I was reviewing my my promises and being like, oh yeah, no, actually that is the thing. I feel like it's, like, at least from, like, Surt's perspective, I think when it's time for, like, Adna to leave, like, after the meal, like, Surt says goodbye to her in, like, what is for him, like, a very, like very fondly. Like, you can kind of, like, see him really, like, struggling to try and, like, be, like, let some of his, like, gratefulness out, but not, like, too much of it. And, like, he, like, sort of, like, puts, like, hands on your shoulders and is, you know, like, thank you very much. Like, you did very well. I'd like to do this again sometime.
Yeah.
And like
Cool.
if you and then like sort of like softens it with like, and I'll teach you, how to fix that thing that you.
Yeah, great.
It's still the sort of
I mean,
aspect of like, I'll train you, but he's
Yeah.
me, like, yes, please, can we like have dinner and hang out again, kind of thing.
totally. She's like very like visibly kind of like stoked and like, but like also then that like segues into like maybe like she looks for a moment as she's about to leave, like there's something she needs to say, but she like like tamps it down and goes quickly.
Yeah.
And so she's very excited by like that response, but like it ends on like a no, because I totally forgotten I had the crushing guilt and everything as well. So
Colors that whole interaction.
Yeah.
for her.
yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, cool.
I think that's a
stuff.
good place to leave it for today then.
Perfect.
Ooh,
Perfect.
do we did say that we maybe wanted to push it and take an extra downtime action?
We,
Do we
I
wanna
feel
do
like we
that?
can do that next
Do
time.
that next session? Cool.
Yeah,
I'll just
'cause we
make a
still
note.
gotta do XP.
I'll just make a
note
note to do it.
so we don't forget. Yeah.
Alright,
We'll want to do
XP.
it before we do a mission and
Yeah,
blah blah blah.
that sounds good. All right. Well, that was a lovely, touching, like sad and then nice episode.
It was.
And I really, really enjoyed that one.
Good.
Thank you so much for like coming and playing the thing. Should we do some shout outs? Shall we start with
Do you want
Emily?
to do XP first?
No,
Yeah, XP.
XP is for chumps. You don't need XP.
Oh, okay, our characters are never going to advance. Okay.
All right, fine. Have some XP. Okay, let's go through. Let's do.
Let's do it.
Okay, let's do XP and shout outs at the same time. Is that a crazy thing to do? No, that's a
I think
crazy
it
thing
could
to do.
work.
Let's start with Emily. Do you want to do your XP prompts, Em?
Oh,
Sure.
I must add one thing,
Uh-huh.
which is Emily on the character sheet for the stranger. There will be the new version of how XP prompts are meant to work for everyone. But I just noticed now that I only updated the stranger.
Right.
So definitely read from the PDF. Not
So this
from what
is
we would have already
the-
stored.
Okay. Well, I
And
think
then
I'm
we'll all
doing
have
that.
to do that. Yeah.
I went to the Google Doc and then I went to the link.
Yeah, so you're in the you're in the right PDF.
Yep.
Yeah,
Cool.
I was just if you
Yes.
had
Yeah,
written them down
fabulous.
before they've changed.
No, I always just read from the PDF anyway.
And then all of us will need to steal the last two
Okay.
things from
Yes,
the
yeah. I do remember this now.
So it says, each time you make a desperate roll, mark 1 XP in that action attribute. At the end of each session, for each item below, mark 1 XP in your playbook or attribute. If an item occurred multiple times, mark 2 XP. And then my prompts are, you addressed a challenge with knowledge or subtlety. You expressed your beliefs, drives, role, or background. You struggled with issues from your promises or obligation. You embodied your eclipse or displayed the contents of your heart.
Cool.
That's
So some small shifting around of things, but the last two changed a bunch.
Yeah.
okay. Yeah.
Really good.
So you address a challenge with knowledge or subtlety. No, I don't think that.
I mean, you did a pretty successful gather information.
And that was all
True.
about knowing rituals and like
That's true. It was specifically
Yeah, it
about
was.
knowing stuff from
Yeah.
my culture.
and about like
And it was
gaining
very,
knowledge to use going forward.
Secretive and
Yeah. I don't know that it's a
okay.
2, but I think it's a 1.
no, I think one's fine.
Yep.
You expressed your beliefs, drives, roles, or background. Yes, I feel like that. That is the thing that happened. What have I got listed as? Yeah. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, definitely that. I think that's a 2 because I feel like most of the stuff that I was doing was really about that.
And yeah, this was very like introspective. episode.
Yeah, definitely. And like my roles are like the conflicted captain, troubled captain, and the like prisoner of war. So like, yes, that.
Yeah.
You struggled with issues from your promises or obligation. Yes. Yes, I did. I definitely did. That happened a lot. It was very painful. You embodied your eclipse or displayed the contents of your heart. Yes, I feel like that happened.
I think you get 1 because like you explicitly
Yeah.
framed the working yourself
Yep.
super hard on the training
Yeah.
room, like within the
Yeah.
frame of your eclipse prompt.
One for that, and
yeah.
then you literally wrote a letter to my character about the inner world of
That is very
Kind of
true.
too hard.
and we
Good
played
point.
it out.
Okay, yes. Cool.
So
All right.
I feel like that's 2 XP on that one.
Sweet. So, 7.
Cool.
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 Nice.
All right.
Alrighty.
I can go next.
Yeah, sure.
So address the challenge with understanding or coordination. I feel like I did at least one there.
I feel like you understood me, and you coordinated.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't do a mission and stuff, so I'm gonna keep it.
You definitely did that with the
Oh yeah, the toad
toad
seed
thing.
thing.
I feel like that was
Okay,
that
I
was
mean, I'll
you
take
doing
2.
it. Whether like
I will,
I think you were very understanding this session.
if you don't want to be generous, I will take it.
I think
Especially-
that's reasonable.
Beliefs, drives, role, and background.
You
My
did me a whole
my roles
dance
are
about your
forbidden
beliefs.
lovers and insubordinate rebels.
Did a little dance about your beliefs.
I did a
You did a
little
whole dance about your beliefs.
Yeah, so I'll take 1 there. I didn't really dig into my roles this time. There's a little bit of Frist's rebellious streak, but anyways.
Yeah.
Struggled with issues from your promise or obligation. Yes, I think we got into that stuff a bit, for sure. And lastly, embodied my eclipse or displayed the contents of my heart. Definitely displayed the contents of my heart. So
Yes, 100%.
Yes, definitely.
That was really good.
Definitely.
well, cool.
Cool. Awesome. Who wants to go next? We can get Melody to go.
Yeah, sure thing. So, in terms of XP, I didn't roll any desperate rolls. I don't know if I really addressed a challenge with kindness or self-sacrifice. I mean, I was like being kind to help Cert recover, but I don't know if that really counts as addressing a challenge.
Cert's injuries are a challenge to be overcome.
Yeah,
I would also say like the self-sacrifice thing like kind of came up because of like you have crushing guilt and like there are a number of ways you could have dealt with that, like you could have like gone the opposite way and been like no
asked
actually
for
like
help
I'm
ever.
exactly
Yeah.
or I'm not going to address it or like or I'm not going to do anything or whatever, but instead you were just like I am going to kind of like suck this up and put on a nice face and make a meal and like go and have a quiet meal with this person.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. So I put like 1 or 2 for that one, or
I think 1.
Yeah.
1. Then beliefs, drives, role, or background. I mean, there was a little bit about role in terms of the obligation, but that's struggled with issues from your obligation. So I don't think I really did that one. And then struggled with issues from promises or obligation. Yes, I mean both. Like in the sense that the obligation hit really hard, and it actually kind of went to, like the way I responded went against one of my promises, which is to like help everyone and like be, help Kristen Rama and like be a good friend to Stuart and that kind of thing. And essentially I ratted them all out.
Sold them all out.
Yeah.
Admiral the snitch.
Yeah.
At least so Kristen Rama, because they were like the
Someone's getting
least
stitches.
rebellious, but still, like, yeah. So I'm thinking 2 for that one.
I love the fact
I
that
can't believe
Kristen
that-
Rama was the least rebellious.
Yeah. I can't believe that Adna's a scab now.
I know, right? And on that topic, so moving on to the next one, you embodied your eclipse or displayed the contents of your heart. I didn't actually even realize I was embodying my eclipse, but like once you ratted everyone out, like the eclipse for Guardian is all the people you've sworn to protect are unworthy of that protection. You belong at the front leading the fight.
Yeah.
You know,
100%.
Oh my god.
Which so that totally fits.
Yeah.
Like they all let me down,
Yeah,
and I
100%.
totally displayed the contents of my heart, because like the things that she said in this like
Yeah, they were
debriefing,
100% like, and
they
then
were
someone
what
yelled
they
at
were what
me.
she felt, that she just shouldn't have said them.
Yeah, that's rad.
So yeah, I'm gonna.
I love
grab
it when
two for that
like
one
you
as
know
well.
your character well enough that you end up like doing those prompts like just without even realizing.
By accident. Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah, cool. So that's me.
Cool. All right, and Luke.
Cool. All right. So you addressed a challenge with foresight or revelation. I think I did a bunch of revealing. I cried everywhere. It was very messy. And then also like foresight, both because like there was that whole scene at the Shrine of Eyes with that, and then also there was the whole sequence of like trying to like figure out what's up with the bad Hrist thing and like trying to solve that.
You also helped me with like strategizing.
That's true, yeah, and like I did a bunch of like helping actions that
Yeah,
were kind of about like my role being like those things. So I'm gonna take 2 for that. I think I'm gonna take 2 for background role and beliefs, because like this was an episode with a lot of big feelings, but also like, you know, like my knowledge of the heaven language came up, and like we saw a gravesite of my people's like civilization and like all the shit. None of my promises came up, and I have rewritten them to something I'm much happier with, I think. But I'm still workshopping those. But I think like I struggled hardcore with my obligation, like, because that then informed. I was like, I'm gonna go curse the guy, Shrine of Eyes. I'm gonna do this. I was throwing big temperature about that the whole time. So I'm gonna take 1 for that.
Yeah.
And I think I definitely get 2 for my eclipse, because I was a real eclipsey jackass. And also I displayed the contents of my heart by weeping all over Hrist and Rama. So I'm gonna take 7.
Cool, that sounds good. All right. Well, what about our series playbook? Where's that?
Yeah, what about our
yeah.
lovely crew? Can't forget about them.
Yeah, exactly. What about as a group? What about as friends? What about
I suspect we'll
I
get
have
less
it right here.
the Honesty of Stars? There we go.
Yep. Successfully carry out a mission from the cruise list. Nope. Did we struggle with our place in the world?
And protect.
Yes.
Yeah.
We struggled with that place. I don't know about the other thing.
Yeah, that's an and, not an or.
Yeah.
Well, that's interesting, because we definitely didn't do the second. In fact, I think in a lot of ways we did the opposite.
Oh, it should be.
Okay.
It's not. You don't have to do all of that at
Okay.
once. It's meant to be a two clause thing.
Okay. Yep. In which case, I think we
1?
did get 1 for that. Yep.
Okay.
One mark on that.
Reveal the tragic history of the Bastion, Leviathans, and engines.
I think we get 1 for that.
We found out about the frog, right?
We
We
definitely
found out about the frog, and then did we find out about
Found out.
things about other stuff?
Actually, shit, 2,
Found out about
because
the-
we had some scenes with the engines, figuring out like the new rules change.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Uh-huh.
that's fair.
Yep.
And we also, like, found out a bit more about what we have to do regarding heaven. And there was the heavenly language stuff.
I think that's fair.
That all fits. And then express the essential nature, origin, or destiny of the crew. Here I feel like we have to get 2, because it was all about all of our internal
Yeah, I agree.
stuff and our,
Yep. No, that's good.
you know.
Yep. So
Cool.
we got 5,
5. Doing real good.
which is not enough to get another advance.
No, but it will be next time.
It will be next time.
Don't worry.
Let
You'll
me
get
just
there.
I'll take the
check what
sad
I-
one that I like.
Yep. All right. Well, that's all good. Great. Well, let's wrap up and do some shout-outs. Do you want to start off, Em?
Yeah, sure. Hi, I'm Emily. This was a really good time. I had many feelings. Thank you all for having ridiculous, intense feelings. And like, I love how we were just like, hey, I'm gonna frame a really sad thing. Ooh, can I make it more sad? Wait, let me make it more sad. And we all just kind of like piled on, and it was real good.
It's also sad because of this thing. Yeah.
Exactly. Have you considered this could be more sad?
I think "Can I Make It Sad" is one of my other player like tropes
Yes,
within
it is.
myself.
Absolutely.
It's one of your moves.
Yeah,
one of your-
When you make things more sad, roll 2d6.
that's right.
Yes, so good.
Yep.
That was really fun. I am a filmmaker and an artist. You can follow me on Twitter at Blackwall Says. And yes, that
Emily
is
does
all.
great commission art of characters.
I do.
As
I
a
do.
satisfied customer,
Yes.
I can recommend her. You
Yes,
should
if
give
you
her
want
money.
art. if you want art made of your characters, or even also role play in your life, because I do that too.
Or yourself.
Or yourself. I do that. I have made some art for people for their Twitch channels and things like that. So like, I love doing that stuff. If you want any
Also
other
maps. If you like maps,
let me know.
Emily does good maps.
Oh.
All right, Luke.
All right.
Put the pamphlets away,
Okay.
Luke.
Yeah.
Exactly. Don't you confuse them.
All right, Andrew.
That's me. You can find me on Twitter at Comedian Crow or on twitch.tv/actualfactual. If you enjoy being a sad magical girl, you can play my game. It apparently generates mostly sadness and then occasionally some release from that, which tricks you into thinking that you feel good, but it's actually just you don't feel as bad.
Yeah.
So if that's a play experience that you're excited about, you can beta test my game. If you want to watch me on twitch.tv/actualfactual, there's me making the game. There's also me doing miniature stuff, like painting up cool robots.
Cool.
Just so you know that I'm into robots. I got
Robots are the
cool
best.
tiny robots and stuff.
Robots are a good time.
Oh, also notable, Girl by Moonlight stuff. I'm also going to be playing it on actual play. We're doing this same series playbook.
I'm so interested to see like the variation.
But yeah, exactly. So I'm really stoked to see how different
You're
it's gonna be, 'cause
running it for actual
I'm
play?
going to be the MC, yeah, and then it's Sean Nintner, Strosh, and Andy.
Mhm.
Like the
And
kind of
Strash has a
actual
lot of
play
feelings
whole crew.
about big fighting robots with feelings.
He
And so
loves robots.
it's going to be exciting.
That
yeah,
sounds
I'm
really
pretty-
rad.
I'm pretty hyped for that and to see the other
Yeah, it's
sides
gonna be
of this.
that's such a different
Cool.
crew, like
That sounds sweet.
from in like style. So I'm keen.
Yeah.
And I've seen them play other stuff,
Yeah.
and, like as a group, and I like
Yeah.
what they do.
Yeah.
It's real cool. Nice.
That's me.
Cool.
Thanks.
Melody.
Hey, I am Melody. I am a writer, games designer, researcher, all those kinds of things. You can find me on Twitter at Magic Space Girl. I've recently also started a Patreon for my smutty self-photography. So if you want to check that out, that's patreon.com/melodynova. So yeah, go take a look-see at that.
That's so good.
Or
What is it with
Miss
cool
Melody Nova
trans
at
ladies?
Instagram.
What is it with cool trans ladies and the word Nova? You'll
I
just
know,
like,
right?
really
Oh, it
into
has
it.
the letter V in
When-
it. We
when
all
I-
we all like names that have the letter V or the letter K in them.
And you'll like
Yeah,
space.
yeah.
It's a rule.
Totally.
Mm-hmm.
Space
a
is
whole
definitely a thing.
Yeah.
It's also, I mean, like literally Nova, like it's a metaphor.
Yeah, it's cool.
Mm.
I like it.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's me.
Go give it Melody some money for her smart.
Woo!
Luke.
Goals.
Luke, who are you? What do you do?
Hello, I am Luke. I am the president of the Melody Fan Club, the Emily Fan Club, the Andrew Fan Club, and the Ash Fan Club.
I
Also,
was gonna say,
Yeah.
yeah.
the
Yeah.
rest of the time,
friend.
look, you're all amazing, and I am going to tell people about it at length until they all get on the bandwagon. Anyway, I am a professional GM and program manager of the cool game stuff at a local business called Aeon Academy. I am also a game designer, and I do a bunch of other shit that is game adjacent on the internet. You can support me on Patreon. Sometimes I stream game design. You can also check that out. Go to my Twitter, it will tell you all the stuff.
Cool. Awesome. And I am Ash. You can follow me on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, Instagram, Tumblr. Wait, that's not right. Follow. And my blog, cgf.net. I'm here. This is my channel.
It's a quality blog.
We do the role playing. I make some games. If you want some more of this hot goodness, all the role playing. Tomorrow we are playing. We're going to play the Court of Swords micro RPG in its alpha form. That's going to be Emily, Luke, Ashley Nova, and Todd Hawkodley. I'm pretty keen to try it out. We're going to get our tarot decks out. It's going to be rad.
Fuck yeah, I am. I'm totally gonna
I
draw
think-
them from a physical deck.
I think
Yes.
Yeah,
I have a
100%.
great deck now.
like, if you have a physical
Oh,
deck,
and
I
we can both
expect
use
you
the
to be
Wild
using it.
Unknown. I'll pull out my copy.
Yeah. Wednesday is either Space Date or Cave Date, depending on whether or not we feel like playing, depending on which game we feel like playing.
Yeah.
and we might have Emily, we might have Andrew, we might have both.
It will be starting late though on Wednesday because I will not be able to begin
Yes,
until like
it'll
6
be late.
p.m.
Yep. And if you want to hang around or come back, in about an hour we're going to be doing a super casual, like, shitty alpha test fuck around stream of playing In Which We Live and Breathe, which is my attempt to make a better Shadowrun. So we will be back in a bit and just fucking around. It's not officially I'm not trying to kill you, it's just us being dickheads with dice. Cool.
I think Dickheads with Dice is a great name for a new feature.
Yeah.
I mean, right, yeah,
yeah.
100%. Alright. Thanks so much for coming and hanging out, and we will see you later. Bye.